From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is 4 o'clock here. Taylor Plott, along with meteorologist Chase Wilson. We got Kelly Rawson here as well, and Sam Camp. Everybody's here, and we're still monitoring things, but the good news is we don't have any active severe warnings. We do have active flash flood warnings across the area. Everything severe and tornadic so far close to the area is off to our east. Severe thunderstorm warning from Madison County, Jackson. We got Lincoln County, Moore County, and Franklin County in Tennessee. Again, this is east of our viewing area. This is that batch that moved through that caused those severe thunderstorm warnings for the Shoals and a couple of tornado warnings out there as well. We're in a little bit of a lull here from the Shoals down towards Russellville. On the back side, that's where we have the actual cold front that will be moving on through, and it does have a few showers and storms along it. If you want to switch on over, Chase, to GWX, we'll take a look at that. There's still things that we're going to have to watch. We've been doing some analysis in the background since we've been off air, and there's still some instability to work with. It's not a lot, but again, sometimes in these situations, it doesn't take a whole lot for things to get going, which with such, shear in the atmosphere with this setup. But again, there's nothing severe with this aspect. We look at actually that looks pretty good there with winds coming towards the radar. Zoom in, Chase, to this little area right here. That's kind of catching my eye. There's a little bit of rotation here just to the east of Tishomingo, and it's not anything significant, but this would eventually work its way into Cherokee County near the Bishop community, Allsboro, Malone. That's the Natchez Trace Parkway that you see right here. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. There's just a little bit of rotation, but nothing significant. Now, as we go further down the line, again, still more storms down here, so we will still have these move through. The question is, do we have enough instability in place that these will become severe and potentially tornadic? And that's, again, the big question mark with this batch. Now, further to the south, this is where things could get a little iffy with possibly getting into our viewing area. This tornado warning that's for Tuscaloosa County, I don't think is going to be anywhere close to our viewing area. I think this will continue to ride just to the north of Interstate 2050, this is north of 2059. This is near Samantha in northern Tuscaloosa County. This will continue to go up towards US 69, going up towards Jasper. So this will eventually get into Walker County, parts of Jefferson County, and Blount County. Again, this will be well away from our viewing area, but that's the only tornado warning that's active for the state of Alabama, I believe. There is a little bit of a cell here just to the west of Fayette that could impact parts of our southern viewing area, but that does not have a warning on it. This one does. This one's just to the west of Aberdeen, and this one has a little bit of a interesting look to it. I don't know if it's I don't know if we're dealing with two supercells here or maybe just one. There's a little bit of rotation with it, but not too much. This would eventually move into parts of Marion County and then eventually into parts of Franklin County and Colbert County potentially. So again, we'll have to watch this. Again, it's 4 o'clock, and we mentioned our window opened up right around 2. Well, it doesn't close for the next several hours, so there's a chance that we will continue to see these storms roll through, and some of them could actually become briefly severe and tornadic. Let's kind of reset the view, kind of go back to the north. Again, that's what's happening down to our south, but I want to stress that we do not have any active severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings for our viewing area. Everything that is warned is off to our east now, getting to the McMinnville, Manchester area, getting close to Winchester, Tennessee here. This is now east of Fayetteville. So again, this is moving away from our area. Let's toss it over real quick to meteorologist Kelly Rawson. Kelly has some viewer pictures, I believe, that she wants to show and talk about. I'll step away and she can actually talk about what we're seeing here with some of the viewer pics. Kelly?
Yeah, so we've been getting reports of some pretty decent sized hail, especially in Colbert County as that storm moved through earlier this afternoon. We've got reports up to, I believe it was baseball-sized hail in parts of Colbert County. And here on your screen, you can see this picture. It's not lined up perfectly, but you can interpolate. It's about 2-inch diameter of a hailstone here. And this is from Colbert Heights in Colbert County, Alabama. And that is from viewer Erica Willis. Thank you so much for sending this, especially with the measurements. That is very helpful. But again, with these storms, we have, like Fred said, even something stronger than dodged a bullet here so far. Again, the afternoon and evening is not over. We are still remaining extremely vigilant, but we have been getting some hail reports. We've been getting a lot of lightning, even an apartment fire, I believe, and it was believed to be started by lightning. We've been getting all kinds of flooding and flash flooding reports all across the viewing area. So there are some parts of the viewing area, I should say, that are starting to dry out briefly right now. We still have that main linear feature that's just now coming into Tishomingo County and entering into parts of Lauderdale and Colbert County that we're still watching everything very closely, as again, we're not letting our guards down, and we thank you guys very much for sending any reports. They are very helpful for us and to be able to relay that information to the National Weather Service in order to best keep you folks safe and then the people who are still waiting to see that storm. It is very helpful to get your reports. Again, hail up to at least 2 inches of diameter in size and up to baseball size have fallen from the sky this afternoon. So we have been dealing with these storms as they move through. We're not quite done yet. We can't totally give you the all clear, but things are trending in the right direction. So we are going to continue to remain vigilant, but that is what we've got for now, at least in terms of storm reports.
Thanks, Kelly. And looking at the Weather Service chat here, this is from the EMA in Lauderdale County. EMA has a damage report, but Ham Spotter provided a traffic light is down at the intersection of Alabama 157 and Rash Road. That's in the Underwood-Peterson community in Lauderdale County. Just kind of quickly going through here, I mentioned we're still watching things over the Weather Service chat and keeping in communication with the Weather Service in both Birmingham, Huntsville, and Nashville, kind of all of our surrounding offices to give us an idea of what their thinking is as well. And this is the latest from Todd Barron at the Weather Service in Huntsville. He said it's quite telling if you're keeping an eye on that large supercell in Tuscaloosa County that we showed earlier. That's down there on the south of where the map is located. There is very little, next to nothing, impeding the inflow of the storm, which is allowing it to strengthen and sustain. Yeah, that's this one right here. Again, that's going to stay away. I do it this way. That's going to stay away from our viewing area. It's going this way, not that way. It's going up this way. It's going to stay away from our viewing area. Compare that with us in North Alabama, where the showers are helping shut down the potential realized inflow for our two storms. That being said, small, tight circulations along the approaching line will be the focus coming up. And, of course, we'll watch to see if that supercell will try to clip Coleman, Marshall, and DeKalb. Again, that's outside of our viewing area, but the National Weather Service in Huntsville will have to worry about potential Sand Mountain magic over here, not only with this line or broken area of storms moving into the more higher terrain of northeast Alabama, also the supercells that are coming out of the south and the west. So again, a lot of rain going on. So we're in this brief period, we're switching over from the damaging wind potential. If there is an isolated tornado in there, we're switching over from that potential over to a flooding threat, at least in the near term. Now, again, I do want to stress, Chase, if you want to pop up the watches and warnings, I do still want to stress that we have a tornado watch that is in effect, and that's still a PDS tornado watch for northern Alabama, and that goes until, I believe, 8 o'clock this evening, I think is what that one went. And I think the one in, 8 p.m. this evening for northern Alabama and into parts of northern Mississippi. And then the tornado watch in Tennessee, that is a standard tornado watch. So, again, the chances of seeing the higher-end tornadoes up there are a little less than they are across the state of Alabama. But still, a tornado is a tornado. And that tornado watch does go in effect until 9. But it does, I can't tell. I know there's a flash flood warning in there. I can't tell if they're no longer. Okay, so Lawrence and Giles counties, including Wayne and Hardin, you guys are no longer in the tornado watch. That has been clipped from your area, so that will continue for the areas to the east. So again, we'll still watch things, but for now, it looks like the tornado threat is coming to an end here for our southern Tennessee counties. So Pulaski, Lawrenceburg, Waynesboro, Columbia, Hohenwald, all of our counties here in Tennessee. Again, we'll still watch to see what happens with this other batch moving in, but they've removed you from the tornado watch. So I think the tornado threat for you guys is now pretty low. But again, tornado watch still continues for areas to our south, and it'll be interesting to see what the Weather Service in Huntsville will end up doing with that line that's moving in to parts of northwestern Alabama. So Chase, let's quickly go back into the radar, get GWX on here, because I still want to see what's going on with this line. There's still some interesting features that are going on with it. So we got a strong storm that's getting now into parts of the Waterloo and Cherokee areas here from Lauderdale County down into Colbert County. But it's this stuff down here that's kind of catching my eye. There's a lot of wind that's going on here near the Belmont area. How strong is that? Is that about 40 to 50? That looks like it's close to 40 or 50. That's 68. Wow. Okay. What's the altitude right there? That's 2,500 feet. Okay, so we'll have to watch that. I think one of the things that could be happening here is, even though the storm is likely producing those type of winds at that level, there's a chance that it might not be able to be bringing it all the way down to the ground. And I don't know. That doesn't really look like a signature that tells me that there's big time wind in that. But again, there's a chance here. So I would say that if you're in Pleasant Sight down towards Red Bay and Burnout, this little area of northeastern, I thought I heard a beep, northwestern Franklin County, you might be seeing some gustier winds here in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Slide down to the south just a little bit. I just want to make sure that we're not actually missing anything that's developing. Again, most of the stuff's still back into Mississippi. That looks like a complete jumbled mess. There's a little bit of weak rotation near Fulton. That's Shoreline, and that's in between cells there. So you can probably get some gustier winds in there. The big one I was looking at was down further south of Amory. That's kind of that next supercell that might have a chance at, and that's still even not as, that's pretty broad with that. The thing that's going on is once we get towards this part of the line, the winds will start to shift a little bit further to the south and southwest. And what that does is that lowers the low-level wind shear. And you can still get tornadoes with them, don't get me wrong, but it lowers the substantial tornado risk if the winds start to back more towards the southwest as opposed to the south and south-southeast. So again, we'll watch that. That's the next one. And it looks like they do have a severe thunderstorm warning continuing here. So this does clip the southern part of Itawamba County. And so again, we'll just have to keep an eye on that, but that is not in our viewing area. But we'll, of course, keep a close eye on what is going on in that instance. So let's kind of back things out real quick, just give another quick overview. Again, we're not dealing with any severe thunderstorm warnings for our area, only flash flood warnings right now. We're still watching the cells off to our south to see if they can manage to do anything closer to our area once they get on up here in the next couple of hours or so. But again, I'm liking what I'm seeing in regards to the radar picture here. Just a lot of rain, a lot of embedded lightning, you're going to have some pretty loud thunder out there and some gusty winds, but I'm not seeing anything that is overly significant. Kelly, are you seeing anything over? She's not seeing anything over in her area as well. All right, so that's 413. So we've been on here for about 13, 14 minutes now. So again, that's kind of the overall picture that we're seeing here. Flash flood warnings continue. That includes Lawrence County and Giles County in Tennessee, and also includes parts of Lauderdale, Colbert, and Franklin. Basically, take US 43 and divide it, and if you're west of US 43, that is where you're having that flash flood risk in the near term here for the Florence and the Shoals area, and that goes until 5 o'clock, so for another 45 minutes here. Again, with that other batch coming in, that could actually just reinvigorate any flash flooding potential. So again, that's what we're dealing with now, flash flooding as this other line comes through, still watching if there's any chance of some damaging winds, maybe a quick tornado or two within that line or batch of storms that's moving through. And again, the other thing we're watching is to see what happens with those cells off to our south. Can they manage to come up here And are they able to bring any of that instability with them, kind of nudge it a little further to the north? And maybe we could end up getting another potential for a tornado or two with those that are moving on in. But again, no active severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings for our area. Tornado watch continues for the Alabama counties. It has been canceled for the Tennessee counties. So for meteorologist Chase Wilson and meteorologist Kelly Rawson, along with Sam Camp, I'm meteorologist Taylor Plott. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be on here in case another warning is issued, and we'll have another update coming on a little later.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.